Hello and welcome to a new episode of Jaw Jacking with James. I had a little bit of a tussle, as it will, with my microphone in that I had to, plug it into a different USB in my computer and go ahead and reset all of the audio settings, and that took about 20 minutes. Just to realize I had to do the same thing I did before when I realized all I had to do was put up the audio settings to 100 so you could hear me loud and clear, like you are now. Anyway, let's get on to the main subject. Something that's been bugging me and is relevant right now, and it's been stewing in my head for a little, and now's a good time to start putting my thoughts out there and letting people know about it. Is a long-standing thing I've always loved, as much as, my Godzilla episode and talking about soda and talking about classic films and whatnot. Another thing that's near and dear to my heart is Star Wars, and it's been a long love affair of mine for a very long time in a galaxy far, far away. Now, see, that's kind of hardwired in my mind, but something that I I've been stewing on and noticed, and a lot of YouTubers I see talking about it, and it's just painfully clear to me that I don't know if it'll, take an act of God or just the perfect scenario of everything just going right, but yeah, it's gonna take a total collapse of Disney, Lucasfilm. I don't know what it is, to get Star Wars back to being Star Wars. And I say this from someone who has been a lifelong Star Wars fan. I mean, I have 4 droids on my desk and a small Lego Slave One with a little Lego Boba Fett in it. I mean, right to my right is the symbol of the Rebel Alliance, and to my left, on top of my alarm clock, is a X-Wing. And, I've been a bit of a fan for a very long time. I mean, for a good while, I would greet people by saying, "Hello there," in a kind of Obi-Wan kind of voice. And, I would, say to people, "The Force will be with you, always." I've always enjoyed that. And, it's pained me deeply to see where Star Wars has gone since 2014. Wow, it has been that long. No, wait, Disney bought it in 2012, and the first movie didn't come out till 2015 or 2014. No, it was 2015. My bad. It's been a long time, but honestly, how things have gone, it's one of those things where it's just like, I don't like what's going on, and I don't like how other people tell me I'm not a fan for not liking what they're putting at us. I mean, We're literally having shit shoveled in our face, and we're told to like it. And if we don't like it, there's something wrong with us. But last time I checked, whenever someone shovels shit in my face, I don't like it. And I'm someone who actually sat down and watched, to an extent, most of the Star Wars Disney properties. I haven't seen Ahsoka because it was heir to the Empire, just without all the good parts in it. And the only good thing I've seen from it is a few good space shots of ships that I like. And that's about it. That's all I can say. They made a good updated model of Home One, one of my favorite ships from the original trilogy. I can say that. I didn't completely hate the Book of Boba Fett, though I would have liked for the show to be about Boba Fett. Would have been nice, instead of sort of about him and then 2 episodes of leftover Mandalorian, season 2, that they could have just put to season 3 of The Mandalorian and not put in the Book of Boba Fett. That really bugged me. It's just, call me crazy. Shouldn't the show about that character be about that character? Garfield's about Garfield. The Simpsons is about The Simpsons. It doesn't make sense. Same with the Obi-Wan show. It was non-important characters and sometimes Obi-Wan's in it, the show. And the one thing that always has really bugged me, although it's a cool what-if story, Obi-Wan and Vader should have never interacted at any point in that show. Obi-Wan should have never left Tatooine. And it is abundantly clear that whole show was just a giant retcon and a middle finger to a lot of Star Wars fans. And no one's going to change my mind on that. It literally was just a middle finger to the audience. To old fans, to prequel fans, and any new fans they had. It was just a middle finger for everyone. And, speaking of, when I go back to Mandalorian Season 3, it had good parts, but mostly stupid parts. If they would have just focused on the whole plot thing of, the more interesting thing of taking back Mandalore. I bet you could get a bunch of Star Wars fans in a room and say, hey, would you like to see a whole season of Mandalorians? The cool things in Star Wars besides the Jedi? Retake their home planet? Or would you like to have a couple of stupid episodes, and one of them has Jack Black and Lizzo in it? I guarantee you they're all going to say, can we just have the Mandalorians take back Mandalore? Which, was loosely what was Season 3 about, but it should have been all about what season 3 should have been about, like exclusively. But, call me crazy for, wanting to see, fully clad warriors in cool armor fighting mutants and, the Imperial Remnant to take back their planet. No, why would I ever want to see that? No, I'd rather see, characters that are out of place in the Star Wars universe have an episode about them. Yeah, that's more interesting. It's not. But, it's just, I got all this, built up, thoughts, and it perplexes me as to, what I thought then, what I thought during, and what I think now as of what happened with Star Wars. I mean, initially, getting new Star Wars films, of course I was excited. Going, about 12 years ago now. Wow. I mean, for its many faults, including killing Han Solo, and sidelighting the legacy characters, and really banking on us, a lot of nostalgia. I did mostly enjoy The Force Awakens. I will not, ignore all of its problems, but I did see it within the year it was released. I think I saw it on 5 different occasions. Once by myself, once with my sister, another time, I saw it on pay-per-view at home, and then I watched it again in my room, and then I watched it another time. It has a lot of problems, but essentially it's Episode 4, New Hope, but updated slightly and not as good. Solid. Be generous and give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's not New Hope, by no means, but it could have been worse, and it did get a lot worse because they made The Last Jedi, which, if it was up to me, I would have gone in a very different direction. I would have, completely cut out the going to the casino planet crap. I would have, immediately, just get Luke back into it. It was just a hodgepodge movie. It's like one of those movies where it's like, this shouldn't have happened. This shouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have done that. You know what? I'll go on in a little later about it. Let's move on to the last. What was the last one? Oh, right, Rise of Skywalker. Fucking bullshit. Fucking movie. During most of that movie, I was generally confused as to why they went this route, why they decided till now, to that point, to bring back Billy D. Williams as Lando Calrissian. He's one of the fan favorite characters, and honestly, it bugged me how only now people are oh, maybe we should do something about the First Order. And retroactively, I also, find out canonically that the entire trilogy of the sequel trilogy takes place over a year. A year. A fucking year. So that, this whole, A New Darkness Rising, The First Order, the fall of the New Republic, the rising of the Final Order, the return of Palpatine. All of this happened in a year. If you think about it, it's really fucking stupid. How many years did the original trilogy take? I mean, from episode 4 to episode 5, it was about 3 years or so. And from episode 5 to episode 6, it was like 6 months or so. And the prequels. There's episode 1, and then let's see, it was nearly 10, 15 years later than episode 2 happened, and then another 3 years for the Clone Wars to episode 3. So that entire trilogy took place over the course of like almost 20 years. And the sequel trilogy takes place over the course of 1 year. What? Makes no fucking sense. And it really bugged me, and the more I thought about it, the more it didn't make sense. Okay. The main thing I want to try to get at, as much as I, really fucking hate how they did Han, Luke, Leia, Lando. I mean, the only characters they didn't butcher to hell and actually got character development was, Chewie didn't need a porg. I fucking hate porgs, but he should have. And, Chewie was actually still a good character in it, Surprisingly, a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people talk about this, but surprisingly, C-3PO was a really great character in the sequel trilogy. And so was R2. Honestly, Finn, played by John Boyega, he was pretty much wasted in this trilogy. And I find out, retroactively from all three of the main actors, your Daisy Ridley, John Boyega, and dude who played Poe Dameron, Oscar Isaac. Yeah, apparently they had really good ideas, but the powers that be behind the scenes were like, no, we shouldn't do that. Like, there was a plot idea of having a stormtrooper rebellion, and it could have been in the movie, and Finn would have led a stormtrooper rebellion. How cool would have that been? But no, we didn't want to do that. They could have had really cool First Order ships put in the movie. Could have done that. Nope. They could have also, I don't know if it was fully confirmed, but they were going to have, like, the New Republic actually survive, and the Resistance was going to unite them and actually have, like, ships instead of nothing. Nope, let's not do that cool idea. People don't want to see that. Honestly, it's like it's fucking dumb. It just bugs me. Like, why did they do this? Like, you have all these great ideas. And it's not like there isn't, I don't know, a minimum of at least 30 years of Star Wars books, audio plays, role-playing games, comics that they could use as reference material. I mean, The Rise of Skywalker is basically just gluten-free diet Dark Empire, but worse. I mean, the whole point of the Dark Empire, originally, when it was thought up, was Palpatine returned, and he was going to unite the Empire and plunge the galaxy back into darkness. And me personally, I consider it more of a what-if scenario, because, Palpatine coming back is kind of negates everything that Darth Vader did to become Anakin Skywalker again in Episode 6, but, at least it was a cool concept idea, and at least it's, it's out there as a cool story, and that's what I think it is, just a cool story, But to copy it in a movie and then do it terribly, I mean, as much as I like seeing Ian Diamond, guy who plays Emperor Palpatine, he really shouldn't have been in that movie, and they could have done with a better idea. But I know that Disney and Lucasfilm are very much against good ideas. They don't like them. I mean, if you look no further than some of their recent output. The Acolyte sucks balls, by the way. Space lesbians, it's fucking bullshit. But anyway, since I got that out of the way, I will now talk about... Okay, let's start with fixing the sequel movies. The sequel trilogy. Episode 7, 8, 9. Okay. Okay, the concept I have is... First off, we're getting rid of the Starkiller base being a big Death Star, but supersized and can destroy a whole planetary system. That is automatically pew in the trash bin. We're not doing that. Okay. We're still going to keep the concept of the base will be called Starkiller Base, and it will be a planet. So there is a attacking on a planet, the Resistance. They're not going to be the Resistance much longer in my idea, my concept of fixing the sequel trilogy. Okay. Starkiller Base instead is a giant base on the fringe of the known Star Wars galaxy. The concept that the First Order is in the unknown regions, that's actually a good idea. We're going to take some good ideas. Things that are good ideas, we're going to keep. Things that are bad ideas, we're going to put them in the trash bin and not use them because they're stupid. No more Death Stars. The Death Stars are not a concept anymore. The First Order is going to have some other wonder super weapons, but they're not going to be planet-killing weapons. They're just going to be other things, but we're going to come to that when we get to it. Anyway, okay. Another thing we're going to change is we need to find. We're not going to. See, I'm up in the air about finding Luke. I'm going to go more that Luke felt a looming darkness and went into the Outer Rim. and hasn't been seen since. A better concept. That way, it's less of he's a washed-up old guy who just gave up, because I don't like that story beat. Like, people just don't get old and give up. Or people who were heroes just don't give up. It's a very bad story beat, and none of our main heroes are going to do it because, I actually like these heroes because they're heroes, and we're going to treat them like heroes. So, it's revealed that Luke, felt a rising darkness. The rise in the dark side. Okay. And he went in to the Outer Rim to confront and find out what it was. Because that's something Luke would do, because Luke is a Jedi and a hero. The Jedi as a whole are not extinct. They aren't well understood like they usually are in the Star Wars universe. They never really have. But Luke, along with, let's say, a small contingent of knights, went into the unknown regions to fight to discover what this dark presence was. Yeah, that sounds a lot more Luke, and it explains why there's a lack of Jedi around. Okay. Because it's more in line with Luke wanting to learn about the Force and him trying to get students that wanted to be Jedi. So him and his small band of Jedi go to the Outer Rim. Okay, that's established. Keeps him, as a hero, but he's still needed, but he can't be found, and there's a lack of Jedi in the known galaxy. Okay. Now, there are others who are allied with them that might be slightly Force sensitive. Okay. That's how we have we change around dialogue of Poe Dameron trying to find where Luke went, where was their last stop. That can be a plot point, starting off the plot point. Okay. The First Order. They are going to be very much given a major facelift. Their stormtroopers are going to be more effective. I actually do like the First Order Stormtrooper design. It looks updated while still maintaining that original throwback, but it's updated. Like, generally, the aesthetic of the First Order, we're going to keep intact. However, we're going to change how the Stormtroopers are and how the mid-level command is. It's only the senior leadership that we're going to keep kind of stupid and overcompetent and sort of incompetent. Yeah. Because, there's still an improvement, but there's still some problems with it that regrets and relates back to how the Empire used to be. Because the First Order is supposed to be an improvement on the Empire. Okay. Another thing we're going to fix is the Resistance. For the first part of the film, they're going to still be called the Resistance, but they are going to be able to get in contact with the New Republic and a We're going to have, for this first part, we're going to have a portion of the New Republic fleet get alerted and make a... And they're aware of the Resistance and are friendly to the Resistance. And they're going to get a transmission. They're like, oh, crap, here's the First Order is a threat. You guys were right, we were wrong. Let's team up. And a portion of the New Republic fleet kind of goes AWOL to help the Resistance. Okay, so we have an important important stake, but we still have a portion of the good guys having actually something to work with besides just having X-Wings and like 5 guys to fight them and still winning somehow. This is not to say that I don't think it can be, in the Battle of Yavin, all they did was fight with, the rebels fought with fighters and were able to defeat the Death Star. That makes sense because, it was meant to represent that they were the underdogs. In this time around, yeah, they are kind of the underdogs. At the same time, they don't have to always be the underdogs. Can the New Republic actually be the New Republic instead of kind of like shit? Because, how they treat the New Republic and the new Disney canon is just... It's like they hate the good guys for some reason. They just hate them. I don't know why. Like, they made the New Republic post Endor. It's like they just stopped fighting or just lost all of that. Hey, we need to restore freedom and the full name is the Rebellion to Restore the Republic. I mean, after they reestablished the Republic, wouldn't they, fix what had been wrong, instead of running planets and systems with an iron fist, why not let them have the freedom to have democracy, reopen the Senate and all that other good jazz? A return to democracy. Anyway, but yeah, we're going to have, let's see, we're going all over the place here. Got a lot of ideas. Anyway, okay. Opening seed. They're trying to find the last coordinates of where Luke went off so they can make a roadmap to try to go into the Outer Rim to find him. Okay. Poe Dameron's really cool. Keep him as he is. He's still cool. He's, one of the few characters that is, still maintained his, wow factor through all the films. I liked him from the get-go. Anyway, Kylo Ren will be a dark sider, and we will find out that instead of Luke, using the Force and like sensing that he had a bad thought, which was fucking dumb, another dumb plot point from Last Jedi, I think it'll be more, let's make it that Kylo was manipulated by the dark side to think that his uncle was trying to kill him, and Luke also himself thinking that his own nephew was being clouded by the dark side. So both of them are manipulated by the dark side, which will show later on that the Darksider was strong enough to manipulate them both, and that's what's gonna be the thing they have to overcome in the next film. All right. It's gonna be Snoke. However, we're gonna use Snoke more responsibly. He's not gonna be a Sith. He will instead be let's say a conduit vessel of the dark side itself. And he's so powerful in the dark side that even a powerful Jedi can, like Luke, can be manipulated by him if he is not aware and can't overcome it without the assistance of other Jedi who are aware that the power is there. That'll segue into Rey, who, well, let's just get it out of the way. Rey is not going to be Rey Palpatine, and she's not going to be Rey Skywalker. The plot point of her being a clone of a clone baby, of a failed clone of Palpatine, that was a really dumb idea. What it's going to be, you know what it is that with the absence of the Jedi in the known galaxy, the Force itself found a baby Rey. Her parents are just normal people. Let's keep it at that. They're normal people. But their baby's Force sensitive, which can happen in the Star Wars universe. All right. However, she is unique in that she can, in a way, channel both dark and light and the Force itself without succumbing to the dark side. That'll be an important plot point. Now, her parents are going to have to die, unfortunately, because, they would not like it. All right, and I want to say the First Order, before they became officially the First Order, or they have a better idea. One of the dark side cultists that are mentioned in episode, some of the other books in Star Wars, there's a dark side cult built around Palpatine. Some of them can search for Force-sensitive children, and they just happen to come across Rey when she's a baby, find out she's Force-sensitive, and they kidnap her, but her parents get them back, and let's work in that they instead try to man, this is hard to think up because I have a lot of plot ideas here, but I have to thinly paste them into one thing. So bear with me. Okay, she gets kidnapped, but her parents get her back. But in the struggle, her parents get killed, and she gets found by a wandering scavenger on the planet of. Okay, let's use Jakku because it's on the edge, or whatever. And then that scavenger raises her, but then sells her. So she only knows abandonment. But there's still this goodness in her, and she still tries to become a good person. Okay. All right, we got through that. Finn. Okay, Finn is going to be is going to still be a stormtrooper. He's going to go on the raid to get Poe, who's trying to get the information to find Luke. Okay. But instead of him just kind of acting weird when they're getting into fire, I think instead he should, initially, the villagers resist, and he's trained to, fight combatants. They were technically combatants. Okay. But instead of him just kind of like standing there, he's ordered by Kylo Ren and a superior to be like, hey, take care of this. And all it is unarmed people from the village, women and children. He's like, this isn't right. I'm a soldier, not an executioner. And he's like, he gets reprimanded for it, and all the civilians get killed, and he has his moment. And that leads to him having second thoughts and deserting, and him and Poe, he gets, Poe, who's been captured, and they escape. And instead of him kind of being not very good at being a hero, he instead starts on a path of, yes, I'm a soldier and I used to be a stormtrooper, but I was, built up to be a warrior and a soldier, not a killer and a murderer and an executioner of unarmed people. Okay. And he'll also run across other stormtroopers saying, hey, do you really want to do this? And he puts the thoughts into stormtroopers' heads that starts making stormtroopers question their orders. Boom. That'll segue into a kind of, for the next one, next film, a active stormtrooper rebellion. Bam. And that'll lead into, they need a final solution, the final order. Boom. That plot point's taken care of. Okay. Now, Starkiller Base. It's a refueling station base and it's going to be a major, it's on the edge of the unknown and known. So it is going to be a assembly area kind of planet, a waypoint. And we're going to have the, Supremacy. That super duper sized Star Destroyer. It's going to be leaving with its fleet to attack the capital of the New Republic. I mean, it has supersized turbo lasers. I'm sure it could destroy a planet, bombard a planet and blow up a bunch of ships. And it's televised, with pay-per-view and all that, so everyone can see it. A part of the New Republic fleet is like, oh shit, that's not cool. And they instead hyperspace away. And the Resistance finds a location and attacks, and instead of blowing up the whole planet, they just blow up the refueling refinery station that's there, and they set up a base on the planet, the Resistance / New Republic, and they fight on the planet, and it'll segue into them fighting over the planet as a way to get a foothold into going into the outer, unknown regions. And, it, sounds, if it's more thought out and everything. And, of course, you have better involvement of the heroes. Leia, is more involved, and we can have Han Solo be the one who helps lead the attack, because he finds out that him and Leia find out that their lost son is alive, so they're going to help, do the segue out into the outer reaches of, finding their son and finding Luke, and all of our old heroes go and fight to get the new heroes, and the movie ends with them finding Luke, and they also find a few other Jedi that survived, and then apparently they've been stuck on that planet. Another planet, of course, because they find a signal, because the First Order's been keeping them there. So, kind of on a prison planet, so they can't escape. Yeah, that's a lot better. Me personally, I think that's a better idea. Okay. Segue into the next movie. We're not going to call it The Last Jedi. We're going to call it can't call it Return of the Jedi for obvious reasons. I guess let's go with the Jedi Return? No. Damn it. It's just a title. What to think? The Light Returns. Bam. Okay, we're just gonna, Light Returns. The Light Returns. There we go. That's gonna be we can improve upon that, but for now, Light Returns instead of Last Jedi. Anyway, okay, the Jedi are now part of the known galaxy, so there are Jedi again, and Luke senses that Rey is Force sensitive, so he's like, "Hey, you're Force sensitive. I can help with that." And he starts, her, and the other Jedi are like, "Okay, we're here to help. Thanks for getting us off that planet. Let me train her for a little bit, and I'll get back to you, but I'm going to help you guys." Cool. Okay. Now, Leia and Han, and they also contact Lando, who helps, and also, because he's Lando Calrissian, he's owned a cloud city. He's since, owns a whole bunch of, he's a really important guy. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna help fund this movement. Hey." I don't know why I made him sound like the Fonz, but you get the point. Okay, Lando helps. He's also going to be like, "Hey, I'm going to fund and, give support to you guys." All right, and Leia puts out a call to get, any survivors, any volunteers. "Hey, come on, help. We're going to fight the First Order. And we know we have a entry point at the Starkiller base. We're fighting them now. We could really use some help." And that's how and we have more people, maybe, have a better written Vice Admiral Holdo come in with her ship and ships, have her come in with a few ships, and make her not annoying. We have Admiral Akbar there, and he has the fleet, the fleet, and he goes around, and there's several shots of him going around and reacting to First Order attacks, and he says we need to attack them at the source, which is more in line because he's a really good leader. And okay, and Luke trains Rey, and he finds out, hey, you're really good with the Force, and you can use the dark side and the light, but not be corrupted by the dark side, which is cool. Okay. And we can go from there, and it would, it's like this movie already sounds a lot better. We're also going to get rid of the, hyperspace tracking. That's fucking stupid. We're going to have the New Republic / Resistance forces attacking the First Order and reacting to them. But we can have the Battle of Crate, but I would have it more as the attack happen, like they're attacking, but then the First Order, because they're more effective, they come out of hyperspace on top of Leia's forces with the Superstar Destroyer, and they have to quickly rush their forces down to Crate to escape being completely destroyed, and they put the call out to get reinforcements, and reinforcements have to get to them as quickly as possible. And one of them that hears it is Luke and Rey, so they go to get there as quick as possible to help them. And of course Han will go in to help, because he's got to save his wife. Because in my new story, the original characters from the original trilogy aren't terrible people in this one. Because I don't know what it was with the sequel trilogy making all of the original trilogy characters seem like terrible people. I never understood that. Anyway, yeah. And we should have a duel between Luke, Kylo, and Rey. Luke has no problems dealing with him and is trying to, get through to him, while Rey is trying to show that she's a good Jedi, but since she's not fully trained yet, she isn't performing as well, but she's trying. But Luke has to constantly swoop in to stop her from getting hurt. So, it's just, we're not going to take away that, we can make Rey a good character, but at the same time, she has to not be overpowered. Because, honestly, her progression in the sequel trilogy was, just a lot of plot convenience. Be like, because of the mind meld, she can use the lightsaber. Because of the mind meld, she can do this. Because, she watched a quick, video. She now knows how to do that. Like, she has to not be good at some things and be good at other things. Luke got his ass kicked in episode 5 because he wasn't fully trained. She's not fully trained, so she's not as good yet. But we're going to get there. The last one, she gets there. Okay. But anyway, it's, fully revealed that Luke thought Kylo was dead, and Kylo thought he was being betrayed, and then there's all this conflict from Kylo. Kylo has a lot of conflict, And then Rey shows her true power by, removing the dark side aura away from Kylo so he could see clearly. He's like, wait a minute. Because that's her special ability. And it helps Kylo. I also want to say that, Adam Driver, who played Kylo Ren, he was actually really good. So we're not going to overly fuck with his character too much. But we're going to change what happens to him. But still maintain him being like, he's unhinged, but he's on the dark side. He kind of chose it, but he was manipulated into it. And now his dark side overlord puppet master, Snoke, it later revealed. They're going to reveal it. And he's like, I'm Snoke. Boo. And they're like, oh, didn't see that coming. Yeah, I'd like to keep it that Snoke was a mystery to even all the good guys. I don't like that they knew who he was in the movie from the get-go. I would have been better if they learned about it. Anyway. Okay. And then we end on the stormtroopers disobeying orders and being like, hey, we shouldn't do this. And some of the loyaler stormtroopers shoot them, and then they're shooting at each other. And then it ends on some of the stormtroopers joining the New Republic and, signifying that they're not stormtroopers anymore by taking off their helmets and saying, hey, I'm a person. To plant the seed more for the Stormtrooper Rebellion. And Finn becoming a leader. The Captain Phasma. Yeah, he defeats Captain Phasma in open combat. And other stormtroopers see it, and they side with him. Okay, that also happens. Flesh it out more. I don't know. I burped real quick, sorry. But I made sure to do it away from the mic so you didn't hear it. Anyway. Okay, let's go into the last movie, Rise of Skywalker. We're going to keep it like that because it's the rise of the new Jedi. Yeah. Because it's going to be Jedi, just a Jedi. Jedis, Genesis, Genocide, Moose, Goose. I guess Jedi. What's plural for Jedi? I guess Jedi. Jedis. Jedi. Jedi. Anyway. Okay. We should start the last. I'm kind of thinking about it. I've only seen The Rise of Jedi once, and that was in theaters. I own it, but I haven't watched it since. That really tells you something about how much I didn't like the movie. Anyway, let's start it with the First Order kind of shitting its pants because they're like, the war's not going good. We're overextended. Stormtroopers are rebelling. What are we going to do? And Kylo's kind of like, I don't know. But Snoke's like, okay, I've got another plan. I've had a secret army I didn't tell you about. It's pretty cool. And all the top First Order brass are like, so when were you going to share the secret, army with us? And he said, it's a secret. Just to fuck with them. It's going to be more, but he's just going to be like, it was a secret. That's not a secret anymore. Dark side. Something like that. Kind of just really fuck with them. And that's going to be your, final order with the reddish stormtroopers. And we're not going to have the Star Destroyers that have big lasers on them. Those are considered planet killers, and I think those are stupid. I don't like the Star Destroyer with a big laser on it, and it's just slightly bigger. That's really stupid. It's stupid. Bad. Bad. I mean, they thought up a new Star Destroyer for the new movies. Why not make a variant on that Star Destroyer, but more... Why not make a more slick version of it? It's called the Resurgence Class Battle Cruiser. Why not make a kind of a cross of a Star Destroyer and the Resurgence Class? So you call it the Reclaimer Class. You know, just a concept. And it's even more sharp, and has like holes in it that are negative spaced within the ship in the middle. Kind of that, have the dagger shape, knife shape, but in the middle have space, and that's where the hangars are. Yeah, so they're negative spaced, super Sith Star Destroyers. Okay. It's a better idea than what they got in the movie. All right. And they have a First Order Super Star Destroyer because the Supremacy got blown up, the last one, so they have a new one. That's their new, command flight. I got it. Instead of the Super Star Destroyer, we bring in, from Dark Empire, we bring in the Sovereign class. Yeah. Which is a Super Star Destroyer, but it's all, big and bulky and shit. And looks really evil. Yeah. That's something I do like, the Sovereign class. It's got a cool name, and it looks really badass. Have that be the new command ship. And it coordinates all the other smaller ships. And instead of having a civilian fleet, you have instead a collection of all of the new republics that have finally been united. The new republic has been reformed. They now have like a off-world government, and to fully retake the galaxy and push the First Order out, and then have a final attack into the unknown regions. We have them attack Coruscant, bring Coruscant back into it, and they basically have a battle to retake Coruscant, destroy those ships. The Sovereign Super Star Destroyer gets away. Okay. And then the New Republic pursues them. And then they find the capital of the First Order / Final Order, and we're going to use the Exegol planet. And they basically go there, attack. Luke, his Jedi, and a more fully trained Rey go and attack and take on Snoke. Finn is basically does a wide communication and says, hey, the First Order doesn't like you Stormtrooper guys. You should join us. And right there, a whole bunch of and then you have a sequence with all the Stormtroopers taking their helmets off, smashing them, and then fighting against the First Order. Yeah, that'd be much better. It'd be cool. And you have a minority of regular Stormtroopers that are loyal, and then a majority of them that are like 1/3 over 2/3. 2/3 fight the 1/3. And then you have all the, the New Republic helping, and we find out, in the movie, Finn finds out he's force sensitive, and Luke's like, hey, let me help with that. And also, he takes him on, post that, and that'll segue into a new and improved version of the Rey movie that apparently they're going to make and probably fuck up, but if I had my way about it, it probably would be better. Because if it was up to me, I would try to make even my ramblings is a better, story beat idea to make a new Star Wars than what Lucasfilm took, 12 years to do? I mean, what were you thinking, George? I know 4 billion's great and all, but Jesus. Anyway, that's a rough concept of what I've got going on. Yes, I'm going to be very critical, but at least I have I thought up how can we fix this? It's well, we're going to have to start from stage 1 and work our way down. That's what I think. Also, I think they should just, fire a whole bunch of people there at Disney and Lucasfilm, because it's apparently a lot of them don't know how to make stories that anybody likes, except, terrible stories. So why not just fire all of them and start from scratch? It worked for Twitter. Maybe they need to do it there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my ramblings for over an hour. Listener, friend, compatriot, fellow seeker of truth, I hope you enjoyed. If you liked my insane ramblings for over an hour, why don't you give me a like, give me a follow. I've got an Instagram. I don't know what's going on with my Twitter because I can't get into it, but I'll figure out something. I also got a YouTube. Like and comment and subscribe to that on my podcast here. Give me a follow, give me a like. Thank you for listening, and I hope you'll come back. I'm going to do another video today. Well, another podcast today. It's going to be a little shorter than this, obviously, but I hope to intrigue you more to stick around. You people out there have a good day, and I hope to see you again. And may the Force be with you always.